Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you ever so much for clicking on this video and tuning in today. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Barbara and I go by the name of Simple Yet Stylish on all socials. I upload fashion and lifestyle content, so if any of those topics are of interest to you, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. And for my returning subscribers, thank you ever so much for your ongoing support. So as you guys can tell by the title of today's video, I am going to be sharing a little Q&A that I posted a while back on Instagram. I did receive a number of responses, but I was able to only simmer it down, or narrow it down, should I say, to about 14-15 questions. So we're going to cover that whilst I achieve this makeup look. So if you would like to know more and obviously see the makeup look, then keep on watching. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is obviously the brows, and I'm going to start off with this MUA Brow Define Eyebrow Pencil. I hope you guys can see it. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm just going to go in with the first question, and this is in no particular order. So the first question is, how do you balance it all with 3 kids? So for those of you who don't know, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3. I have 3 children. I have a 16-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And usually when I say it to people, they're like, wow, I didn't know you had any kids, or wow, I thought you just had 1, and stuff like that. But no, I have 3 cubs. So how do I balance it all with 3 children? God, okay, God. Because sometimes I sit there and I honestly think to myself, especially after like a long day at work, a long day creating content, a long day doing things around the house, outside of the house, doing things for other people. I just sit down at the end of the day, or should I say at the night, and I have to ask myself, how did I do it all? How? Because the thing is, when you're also a mum, right, by default, that's a responsibility that you have to attend to every day. And if you have more than 1 child, then you know that the responsibilities are different, not just according to their age, but even their personalities, their character, their preferences, what they like to eat, their hobbies, their interests. It may not all be the same. And because there's like quite, I wouldn't say a big gap, but between my first and my second child is quite a big gap, right? Because there is such a big gap, my second one is half my first one's age. There's just such a big difference. There's just such a big difference, you know? So to be fair, I have to be honest with you guys. All the credit goes to God. All the credit goes to God. I remember at one point a few weeks ago, I was at work and I got a call from my youngest one's school, nursery, that she wasn't feeling well. And I just had to drop everything and leave. I'm an interior stylist and I have these independent projects. And so because of that, it's not like I have someone that can cover my shift or anything like that. So I'm not saying it's an inconvenience, but there's just so much more that I have to work around if something unexpected occurs, especially with one of my children, and I have to drop my work responsibilities to attend to my role as a mother. So yeah, I would say God did that. God always does it for me, because if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I would get the strength. And also, let me not even come and discredit or not even mention, but I have an amazing support system. My family are so supportive when it comes to my needs, especially being hands-on and helping me if I need help with like my children and stuff like that. So I have to give props where props is, I have to give credit where credit is due as well. I also have friends who are very supportive and who always offer their help and their service, as much as they've got busy lives and other responsibilities to attend to. They always make it known to me that if you need any help, Barbs, if you want me to, you know, pick up the kids from school, or If you need me to go to the shops for you or this, that, and the third, just let me know and I'll do it. But besides that, I would definitely say God. God first, because I don't know where I get the strength from. Okay, next up, I'm going to be going in with the Brow Lift Gel by e.l.f. Cosmetics. Where is my spoolie? So the next question is, where did your inspo from fashion come from? I would say my inspo from fashion comes from my parents. Definitely my parents. That's where I get it from, especially my dad. If I had to like choose between, you know, which parent I gravitate towards in terms of my style, or where there's more similarities, I would definitely say my dad. My mum is quite eclectic with her style. She likes bold prints. She likes colors. She likes you know, like jewelry and all that kind of stuff. And my dad is more minimal, so he likes very, very, very neutral colors. You can even ask, well, you can't ask my family, but for those of you who know, you know. Yeah, I would definitely say my dad. He's quite minimal. If you know me, or if you know like my family personally or anything like that, you know that my dad loves like a daring shoe, a shoe that is a little bit out of the box, but typically he's not what you would expect in terms of his style. You know, we whenever we sit down and have conversations about fashion and all that kind of stuff, my dad and I usually agree on a lot of things, and it's lovely to get compliments from people and stuff like that, but to me, nothing beats a compliment from my dad. The other day, I got a compliment from him about my outfit that I wore to a friend's birthday party. I'll insert the picture. You guys would have seen it in, I think, the last Vlogmas episode. Sorry, going in with the MAC concealer in NW45 to tidy up my brows. So anyway, my dad sent me a video. My dad sent me a message on WhatsApp to say, I really like your outfit. It's really it's a proper vintage outfit. And let me tell you something. That made my day, okay? That made my day, I swear. So yeah, I would say that's where my style mainly comes from. It comes from my parents. I'm also quite old school with my style, so I love the fact that now fashion is making more loud, bold statements regarding trends from the past. So we're seeing a lot of like the 80s styles coming back around. We're seeing a lot of like the 90s or early 2000s and stuff like that, and I'm absolutely loving it. Are my brows even level? Hold on, guys. I've got a lot of mirrors in front of me, but I still don't know whether my brows are... I still don't know whether it's safe to say my brows are looking decent, but we're just gonna go with whatever it is right now. That's definitely where my inspo comes from, like secondary after my parents. Yeah, okay, so the next question is, you have been more consistent with YouTube. What's changed? P.S. We love seeing you on the screen more. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the fact that you like seeing moi on the screen a little bit more. I've been more consistent with YouTube. What's changed? Have I? The thing is, yeah, I beat myself up so much when it comes to my creativity, my content, or my work. I always feel like there's room for improvement. And sometimes I just have to take a seat back and remember that there's no such thing as perfection. As much as we use that word to describe a lot of things, scenarios, situations, images, there is actually no such thing as perfection. But thank you so much for using the term consistent on YouTube. I will definitely say that over time, I am putting more effort into posting more content over here. And I would probably say what's changed is the style of content. So if you are an OG, if you've been around here for a long time, then you would know that I started off, well, I've been creating content for over 10 years across the YouTube platform, Instagram. Let's even throw Facebook in now. I think Facebook is where it all started. I've been creating content for well over 10 years now. And whenever I say that to people sometimes in conversation, they're like, wow, because it is a long time. But we tend to put this sort of like stamp of success and what success looks like on within a certain time frame. So if someone says I've been posting or I've been doing this for 10 years or over 10 years, and they're at a level that you don't typically view as successful, or they've made it, they start to question like, oh, you know, why haven't you blown, or why are you only at 1K followers or 5K or 3K or whatever. And I've had that question asked in so many conversations. People will ask me and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm doing everything that quote unquote it says I'm supposed to do as a creator. I've worked with brands, I tag brands, I use hashtags, I use SEOs on my videos, I make sure that my videos are of good quality. I hope you guys would agree with that as well. You know, like I feel like I'm ticking all the boxes when it comes to what I'm supposed to do. But I just don't know why I'm not growing as fast as maybe I would have desired. But then that doesn't bother me. There's been certain points where it's bothered me and I'm just like, no, it doesn't bother me because God's time is the best time, and I'm heavy on that statement. Heavy on the God's time is the best time. I can't rush this process. But what I will do is certain things that are within my power, such as working extra hard, putting in more work, and trying to be more consistent. I'm definitely in control of that, and so I'm going to do that. So what's changed over... I'm so long-winded with my answers, aren't I? So what's changed, like I said, like I was going to say, is my style of content that I post. Before, I used to post only fashion. So it was just like a strictly based fashion page where I would post hauls. I would do collections, like my entire shoe collection, or, you know, like bag reviews, or not get ready with me's, but sort of like OOTDs, or how to style an outfit and this, that, and the third. And then I quickly realized after that I can't keep bringing out those kind of videos. Not because I don't want to or because I have no interest in it. That's my main interest. However, and I've said this in my hauls and stuff, I'm a realistic consumer in my world. I don't shop a lot. So I can't keep bringing you guys new trends, or this is what I bought from here, this is what I bought from there, I spent X amount of money in this shop, X amount of money in that shop. That's just not what I do. And so I didn't want my channel to die down. And plus I wanted to branch into sort of like other genres of creativity when it comes to content. So I thought to myself, why not try lifestyle? And that came more natural to me. That was much more easier for me to do. But you put the pieces together nicely to make it interesting, and you've got a video, you've got a vlog. Do you get what I mean? So I would say that's what's changed. The fact that I decided to branch out into other types of content, because if you look back to last year, I first started posting consistently, I think around like March, April, and it was like back-to-back vlogs until maybe like, I think August or September or something like that. And for me personally, that's good. Weekly vlogs or every other week, and shorts in between, little hauls in between, from March, April to August. I would say that's pretty consistent. So yeah. So the next question is, I'm still curious to know more about the texture release for your hair, please. Okay, so I vlogged about that last year, but I didn't go into detail because I did say that I wanted to create a separate video. But basically, for those of you who don't know, I got a texture release back in June of 2023. And I decided to do it because I realized that from like 2020, during the pandemic, when everyone was stuck at home, I started wearing my natural hair a little bit more. And one of my favorite hairstyles to do is a middle part. So it could be slicked back in a pony, or it could be a bust down middle part. Either way, I'm a middle part girl. What I started to do was straighten my hair, but with that came heat damage, and that was disappointing to say the least. Between, I would say, 2019 to like 2020 was when my hair was at its thickest, fullest and healthiest state. But then when I started applying straighteners and, you know, heat constantly, I started to damage my hair. On top of that, the ends of my hair needed a trim. Way overdue. The last time I got my hair professionally trimmed was, I think, in 2009. I'm not even joking, guys. From 2009 to 2023. If that is not disgraceful, I don't know what is. But I'm here to be honest. So anyway, fast forward to 2023. I was this close to relaxing my hair. Me personally, I feel like my natural hair suits me when I wear it in like a slick back middle parts kind of style. I really like that hairstyle on me. But then I went on TikTok and I saw a video from a creator who had a texture release, and that video instantly sold me. I'm going to try and pop it like on screen or something so that you guys can see it. She doesn't have the same natural texture as I do, but her texture release came out so beautifully. So I was instantly sold, and I even ended up booking my texture release with the stylist that did that creator's texture release. So now I'm just going to use my foundations. Sorry, they look so messy, but I'm going in with the Huda Beauty in Hot Fudge, and I'm going to mix it with Born This Way Spiced Rum. So these are the two that I'm using. But yeah, so after I booked the appointment for my texture release, I went in and I got it done. To be honest, now the texture release is no longer in my hair, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So I think I've washed it out, because typically I think the stylist will advise you that after 6 to 8 washes, you need to come back and get it redone, as long as you want it redone. Now I've just got it in braids. I don't know if I should show you guys. It looks kind of messy, but now I've just got it in braids, and then I just wear this hat, and I'm wearing wigs because I'm trying to grow out my hair a little bit. But the texture release was so easy to maintain. If you're someone that wears your hair down a lot of the time, if you're someone that prefers to wear your hair straight all the time, then I would definitely recommend you get it done. And whenever I wear my hair down, I want Edna vibes, okay? I want the bob to be bobbing, and then when you keep still, it goes back to its original state. There's not a single strand of hair out of place. That's the kind of hair I aspire to have when I have a bust down middle part. I was able to slick it back in a pony much easier without having to apply any extra products such as like gel, got to be spray, red wax and all those kind of things. I didn't need them. I didn't need them at all. And then another thing as well, I'm someone that goes to the gym a lot. I work out a lot. So that was one of my concerns, like, oh no, you know, how's my hair gonna look if I'm constantly in the gym? But having the texture release, I had no issues with that. I was able to keep my hair wrapped in a headscarf, and after my workout, I'm able to unwrap my hair and my hair was totally fine. Another thing as well is when you do start to wash your hair, even after the first wash, your hair will revert back to its original state whilst it's wet. But I'm assuming you're someone that's going to apply heat to dry your hair. Once you've used your blow dryer, you're absolutely fine. Your hair looks like you've literally just stepped out of the salon. So yeah, I think that's all I would probably say about my texture release. I will link my stylist in the description box below because she's amazing. She's really friendly, she's professional, and sis knows how to slay. Sis knows how to slay a hairstyle, okay? So yeah. Okay, so the next question is, how do you balance motherhood, content creating and interior styling? So that's similar to the first question, which was how do you balance it all with 3 kids? Same answer. God. It's the same answer. The next question is your go-to perfume this year that you will definitely bring into 2024. So obviously these questions were sent to me late 2023, so hence why it's worded like that. I would say, I'm even looking back at my perfumes, love all of them. I would definitely say Erin Amber Musk. That for me, oh my gosh, chokehold. Forever has me in a chokehold. The scent is just beautiful. It's so beautiful. The notes in that perfume is so amazing. This one, I absolutely love it. It's just so nice, and even aesthetically as well. It's just such a beautiful, amazing fragrance, and it's something that I will always buy. It's something that's always on like my list, my gift list, whenever it's like a special occasion where people are gifting me stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, just get me the Erin Amber Musk, please and thank you. Just get me the Erin Amber Musk. Using the multi-use sculpting concealer by Too Faced, Born This Way, and this is the shade Mocha, if you guys can see that, and a little bit here. Now, before we get into the next question, I'm excited to use this sponge. This is the Pro Makeup Sponge by Tiba Cosmetics. If you haven't heard of Tiba Cosmetics, please get to know this brand because it is amazing. This is the makeup and cosmetics brand owned by the amazing and talented Nikita Barfor, who is a professional makeup stylist and a makeup / beauty creator. I'm excited to use it. Just gonna open that now. Prior to this, the only sponge I've been using is the Real Techniques one, which I absolutely love, but I'm always open to trying out new makeup products from new brands, especially black owned brands. So shout out to Nikita for this. It's so gorgeous as well, and it's nice and small. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to wet this because typically I do wet the sponges before applying, before using it for the concealer. Why am I talking like that? But so I like this because, oh look, I've stained it already. I didn't even want to do that. So obviously it's got the point, right? But as well as that, it's got this flat base over here. So it's, and it's also kind of flat over here as well. Oh my gosh. Sis put the genius in sponges, makeup sponges. Wow. It's so pretty as well. I don't want to use, I've got another one. Right, I'm a bit nervous because it's dry and I'm so used to, oh my gosh. Wow. Oh, what? Oh, Nikita. Sis. You lie. Shut the front door. Oh, this is a game changer. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend that is Nikita Barfor has created the game changer of game changers. Okay, if you could have changed something a long time ago, what would it have been? I'm not sure if this question is like related to fashion or anything, or just like life in general. So I'm just gonna assume that it's related to life in general. I don't think I would have changed anything. I don't think I would have changed anything. It's human nature to have regrets or to sit back and have those moments where you feel like if you could go back in time, you would have done this differently, you would have done that differently. But as I'm getting older, I'm just embracing every single moment, every milestone. As crazy as it is to say, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because if I look back at a lot of events that have taken place in my life, where typically most people would want to change because it's not so positive or anything like that, I wouldn't be where I am today. And because I'm so big on faith and my faith in God and knowing that Jesus walks with me day and night, I know that even if I do face trials or tribulations, they're not permanent. And after that, I'm going into greater areas and greater places, you know? So I wouldn't change anything. Sometimes you have those moments, and I know a lot of you watching this have probably had those moments as well, where you might be doing something, washing the dishes, doing your makeup, doing your skincare in the mirror, and then randomly you get this thought in your head, or this flashback moment in your head of when something happened, and you feel like if you were put in that situation now, you would have done it differently, or you would have said this differently, or whatever. Do you know how many times I've been arguing with myself in the mirror? I'll be like, yeah, but you shouldn't have said it like that though. And I'm just like, Barbara, are you okay? What are you doing? And then it makes me laugh, because you really sit there and you think to yourself, if I was put back in this situation, this is what I would have said. This is what I would have done. But we can't see into the future. We literally don't know what is going to happen. Only God is 100% certain on what's going to happen in future. So maybe if you did have the power to go back in time and you would have changed things and said this and said that, you probably wouldn't be at the place that you are now in your life, you know? I hope I'm making sense. So yeah, I don't think I would change anything. Now, when it comes to fashion, I probably would change quite a couple things. The next question is, what inspires your style? By the way, I love that the girlies kept it so nice and cute with the questions, because sometimes people do Q&As, and when they air out the questions that they receive via DMs, some of them are a little bit crazy. And I literally put on there, ask me anything. I didn't filter it to like, ask me questions only based on this, or don't ask me. I said ask me anything, but the girls kept it cute. What inspires your style? I would say my mood, definitely, for starters. My mood does inspire my style. I'm someone that is typically sort of cool, calm and collected. I try to remain positive as much as I can. Always like my surroundings and my environment and my space to be calm. And so I feel like that sort of bounces off or reflects my style. I'm quite minimal. I do branch out a little bit every now and then, but even that, it's not anything daring. So I would say my mood, for starters. In terms of fashion inspiration, like I said, my parents, particularly my dad, also past fashion trends, architecture. Architecture definitely inspires my style. I like things with structure. I've said this quite a number of times, and back when I had my blog, I used to talk about this every time I would blog about fashion. I always made it clear that architecture is something that definitely inspires my style as well. I like things that look clean, crisp. I love sharp lines. I love minimalism, and I love balance as well. I'm very sort of like plain black and white. I love a black and white. I like timeless visuals, like monochrome, black and white. Those kind of visuals will never go out of style. I would definitely say my mood, and definitely architecture. What era would you say you particularly draw from? So like I said, the 80s, definitely the 80s. I love, let me put in all the powder on my jumper. I love an 80s look, the decor. Guys, have you seen 80s inspired homes? Miami Vice, LA. Oh my goodness, love it, so obsessed. And do you know what it is as well? Those things remind me of my childhood. Even though I was born in 1989, literally the last year of the 80s, and so even as a baby, what would I remember? I just feel so connected to that era. I just feel so connected to that era. I'd say that's where I definitely get my style from. Late last year, again, the outfit that I'm talking about, the oversized blazer, and I cinched it with a belt. That was so like 80s inspired for me. So for example, like a boxy blazer. I love a boxy blazer. I think that kind of style complements so many people. I think in terms of my personal style, it complements me really well. I love the fact that I can play around with it as well. I would definitely say like I'm an old school girl when it comes to style. Okay, so the next question is, how do you do your research in finding timeless pieces? I always look at magazines such as like Vogue, Harper's Bazaar. I think those are my top two. Those are probably the only two that I look at, to be honest. Outside of that, I do like to check the runways during like fashion seasons. So as it currently stands, this is fashion month, February. So I'm very intrigued to see what's going to be on the runway. And then what I usually do from now, I'll just wait and see. And if I'm interested in purchasing it and adding it to my personal wardrobe, then by all means, I will go ahead and do so. So that's how I usually do my research. I don't think I read the question properly. It says, how do you do your research in finding timeless pieces? Okay, timeless pieces for me are essential pieces. Essential pieces are always timeless because they are essential. They're always being worn. You need like a denim jacket in your collection. You need denim pants or trousers in your wardrobe. You need a blazer. You need a linen shirt. You need those kind of pieces because those types of clothing will never go out of style. Next question. What made you go into content creating? I started content creating in 2011. Or was it 2010? 2011. My keen interest in fashion. Whenever there was an event to attend, my friends would always come to me for advice on what to wear. And it just used to bring me so much joy and excitement. So it was one day, my friend Chinello, he said to me, Barbara, why don't you go into fashion styling? And I was like, do you know what? That's not a bad idea, you know, because I was working my normal job, I was studying, and I just took this as a hobby, something that I was just genuinely interested in and investing in. But after she suggested that to me, I was like, that's not a bad idea. So I started booking photo shoots where people were looking for stylists for photo shoots or events or fashion shows and stuff like that. I would definitely put myself forward. But then after a while, I slowly got a bit over it. Sorry, can you guys see how amazing this mascara is? Like, it's literally elevated these lashes. Compare it to this where you can hardly see any hair. After about 2 years, I got a bit tired of the fashion styling, and within those 2 years I was blogging anyway. So I had my blog with WordPress. No, first I had Blogger, and then I switched to WordPress, and then I would post my personal style looks on Instagram as well. But because I was more focused on the working behind the scenes and styling models up front, I wasn't really putting my all into content creating. And then after a while, I realized that I do actually love styling models or clients for photo shoots or whatever the case may be. But sometimes I just want to show off my own personal style. And it's not every situation or every event or every booking where I can style a model how I would style myself. That's just not how it works. So then that's when I decided to just put more time into my personal style and showing off my personal style a little bit more. And then from there, that's where it was sort of like birthed, and Simple Yet Stylish became a thing, and I started taking my blog a lot more seriously, and I would post more content based on my own personal style, and I would invest more time and money and effort into sharing my creativity when it came to my personal style. I also realized that I actually do like being behind the lens. I like being behind the camera. I like to vlog. I genuinely do enjoy the overall process, including the editing. Also learning new things such as like editing tricks, angles, filters, and all that good stuff. So yeah, I would say that's what made me go into content creating. Another thing as well, obviously I'm not going to name any names, but another thing as well, you know how stressful it was to get your final edits from the photographer? It was so stressful sometimes, honestly. You had to hunt them down. chase them down just to get your pictures. That was another thing that used to make me roll my eyes a lot of the time. The next question is, do you believe in posting relationships online? Okay, this is a completely different question from what we've been answering so far. I noticed people like my content. Okay, so I think it says, is meant to say, I noticed people like my content more when I post my husband and children, but I want to focus on fashion and fitness. And then she goes on to say, I want to create more fashion and fitness content. Okay. Yeah, okay. Thing is, I don't have any issues with it. I follow so many amazing creators that post not only their relationships, but they post their family, they post their children as well. I follow a lot of family-based pages on Instagram, on TikTok, and I love their content. It's very, very positive. They are transparent to a good extent, so they don't overly expose their family. I would say if you are a creator that is genuinely interested in posting about your family, about your husband and your children, then that's absolutely fine, because that's what you do. That's what you're known for. But if you want to branch into fashion and fitness, then I would say stop posting about your family. If you want to keep, I'm assuming based on your question and how you've worded, you know, your explanation, that you don't want to post about your husband and your children anymore. So if that's the case, don't post them. I remember in 2020, after I had my last born, I done a Q&A after my pregnancy post, and a lot of people were shocked, were gobsmacked, like, you were pregnant, when? Da, 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 da. And someone sent me a kind message, a lovely message, but they were just like, oh, congratulations, welcome to motherhood. I'll never forget that question, because it made me laugh, not in a rude way or anything, but it made me laugh, because this is not welcome to motherhood. This is my third child, right? And then I obviously responded and said, thank you, but this is my third child. And people that know me DM'd me, and they were just like, they don't know that you're one of the OGs, because my oldest is 16. Well, now he's 16, not back then, but yeah. So a lot of people were shocked, number one, at the fact that I was pregnant. But when I done that Q&A and I said that this is my third child, a lot of people were even more shocked, because they were like, I had no idea that you had children. And I'm just like, yeah, because that's not what my content is based on. It's based on fashion and my personal style. So unless you've had like a personal conversation with me where I've shared that with you, if you're going to base it on content alone, why would you know that I'm a mum, you know? And I get that it's human nature. Sometimes you hear certain things about certain people and it shocks you, and you're just like, oh wow, I didn't know you had kids, or I didn't know you were married, or I didn't know that you have siblings. I thought you were an only child, and all that kind of stuff. It's normal. But yeah, I would say definitely stop posting about your family. Just post about your fashion and your fitness. What's going to happen is, and believe me, this will happen, because we live in an era where people feel some level of entitlement to your personal life when you expose certain elements of your personal life. People now think, he's not your man, he's our man. If they don't see you post him in a while, they start to question, oh, we haven't seen you post John in a while, I hope all is well, or what's going on, why haven't you posted him? Then someone will probably respond, they've probably broken up, or this, that. You always get that negativity, unfortunately. Sometimes they're now going to feel entitled, because people are nosy as well. And again, we live in an era where people want to see more of your personal life than just the surface level. People want to know what's going on underneath. And at the end of the day, your family is way more important. Family outweighs content creating. So you have to protect your family at all costs, okay? You have to be on that don't talk about my man, don't talk about my kids kind of vibe. And the only way you can do that is if you protect them from the internet, okay? Talk about my man. Don't talk about my man. Don't talk about my man. That's my man. That's my man. Everybody talking about my man. My man. Don't talk about my man. Don't talk about my kids, the children. Leave them alone. But the only way you can do that is if you don't want to be a family-orientated based creator. Don't post about them. How do you make every style look so effortless and flawless? Well, thank you. That is obviously an opinion, because some people out there will probably look at my outfits and be like, that's horrendous. So thank you so much. I don't even know how to answer that question. Be confident as well. So this doesn't necessarily matter on what your style is in fashion. I feel like the biggest thing you can wear is confidence. Definitely the biggest thing you can wear is confidence. Question is, where is the blush? So I'm gonna go in with the Rimmel Maxi Blush in Wild Card. You can't even see anything. So the last question is 2023 regrets and lessons learned. Ooh, 2023 regrets and lessons learned. What kind of... a very life-changing year for myself, not only for myself but for my family as well. Like I said, I'm not really like personal on this channel, so I'm not going to go into detail, but in 2023 we were hit with a very unfortunate event, and it was definitely a life-changing moment for so many of us. But speaking for myself, it was life-changing in the sense where I realized that I need to cut the cord when it comes to accessibility and giving so many people access to myself. I needed certain people to rally around me, and they didn't. And I needed certain people, well, I didn't need certain people, but certain people I expected. And they always say, expectation is the root to all heartache, right? Ain't that how the saying goes? I thought certain people were going to be there for me in certain ways, and they weren't. They did not show up at all. They were ghost, absolutely ghost. And I don't post about my personal life on social media. The most I would probably post is my birthday, or, you know, but if I'm going through something in a relationship with a family member or whatever, I'm not someone that runs to the internet to share that. I just feel like it's something that I want to keep private. I didn't post about it, but there were certain people that knew about it, obviously outside of social media, because it's not something that I made public. And they just didn't show up. They didn't show up at all. And like I said, even though I've always got in my head that, you know, people don't owe you anything, sometimes, just sometimes, pull through. Sometimes show up. Sometimes just be there to support. Even if it's just, you don't have to be at my house every day. You don't have to come and look after me or my children. Just a little text, just to say, sorry, I heard what happened. Just sending out my condolences, prayers to you and your family. You know, just those little things. It's like sometimes people wait for you to post it on social media before they feel comfortable to now come in with some sort of support. And it's like, you don't have to do that. You have my number, or you can easily get my number, or you have me on social media where you can DM me privately and stuff like that. I may not see it straight away because I did take a huge break from social media. But when I came back, I did come back to a number of messages from certain people that may not have had my personal number, but they had me on social media and they were kind enough to reach out. But other people that I thought they would do that, they didn't do it. So after that, I said to myself, don't get me wrong, there's no bad blood. I'll still say hello to you. I'll still like kiki with you and laugh with you and all that kind of stuff. But the energy you give me is the energy I'll give you. So even if we do bump into each other and you give me this awkward vibe, awkward energy, and I pick up on it, I will definitely push back and keep a distance. Do you get what I mean? But even with that being said, there's still no bad blood, you know, on my part anyway, because I don't have time in this life to hold grudges or to be all up in my feelings about something that I don't have the power to change on your end. However, I just won't make myself accessible to you anymore. So whereas maybe you could easily reach out to me and you could easily get certain things from me in certain ways, that won't be the case. I would rather put that time and energy into someone else who was there for me when I needed them during the good, the bad, and the ugly, or I'll just put that time into myself. Another thing as well that I've learned in 2022, I'm even laughing. Another thing I've learned in 2023 as well is that nothing in this life is by force. As I'm getting older, and I'm someone, I consider myself a homebody, right? I don't like to be outside. It's nice when you're outside with people that you like and you get along with and you're having a good time. That's fine. But I'm not someone that constantly seeks to be outside. I'd rather be in my house. I'm one of those ones, when plans are cancelled, I'm doing backflips and cartwheels. I'm like that, right? And in the past, there's been times where if I can't make it to someone's event, sorry, but I'm just going to put it out there, I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't come because blah, 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 blah. And I'll give an excuse that is not necessarily the truth. Gone are those days. Gone are those days. If I can't make it, I can't make it. And all you're going to get from me is, thank you for the invite, I can't make it. If I have no, obviously there's a reason behind everything. But if it's not a childcare issue or a clash with my work or other responsibilities, if I just want to stay at home and I don't want to attend wherever it is that you're inviting me to, I'll just say thank you, but I won't be attending. That is it. That's where the period goes. That's where the full stop goes. That's it. It's not now that I'm come to lie and say I don't have anyone to look after my kids. I have someone to look after my kids. I have family to look after my kids. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not coming. I just don't want to be there. I want to be in my house, in my bed, or in front of my TV, or playing with my kids. You know, I'm not going to lie anymore. And that sort of piggybacks off of, sorry guys, I didn't even tell you what I'm using. So for my lips, I'm using the, what's this? The NYX Butter Gloss in Lava Cake. This lava cake that is always sold out. 2023, I'm realizing how certain people move in certain situations and certain life events, you know. So yeah, I would say that's my 2023 lessons that I've learned. Regrets. Do I have any regrets? No. Like I said, with the other question about if you could go back and change anything, I wouldn't change anything. Because let's say, for example, if I could go back and change anything, if I had the power to change anything, what would I do? Reach out to the people that didn't reach out to me and be like, why didn't you reach out to me? I ain't got time for that. It's not by force. And it really doesn't bother me to that point, you know. We move on, we live and we learn. So I don't have any regrets. Okay, so let me go and wash my hands because I've got like some makeup on my hands and stuff. And also let me sort out my hair and then I'll come back to you guys. All right, guys, and we are done. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm not sure if I'm feeling this look. I feel like I would have been able to do it better if I wasn't talking. I never realized how hard these Q&As / makeup get ready with me's are. Like, I never realized how difficult they are. So props to those that are able to do it all the time, because I can't talk and do my makeup at the same time. But anyway, I hope it came out okay. I hope it looks okay on camera anyway. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below and share it with anyone that you feel will enjoy this type of content. Like I said before, I loved doing this Q&A because the girls kept it cute with the questions. I wasn't able to actually answer every single question, so I will probably come back and do another Q&A later on for you guys, or I don't know, we might just refresh and ask another question on Instagram stories another time. But thank you ever so much for watching. I honestly appreciate you guys, and make sure you come back here for the next video. Bye.